In this video, we will walk you through how to invite vendors and approve vendor information in Peakflo Vendor Onboarding Management. To invite vendors, follow these steps. Go to the Vendors tab under the Payables section. Select the vendors you want to invite. Click on the Bulk Action button and then hit the Send Invite button. A pop-up will appear to confirm the invitation. Click on Yes, Accept to send the invite. Your vendors will receive the invitation email. They will also receive another email with their login credentials. Your vendors will be redirected to a login page where they can enter their login credentials to start the onboarding process. Once logged in, your vendors will be redirected to the vendor onboarding dashboard. In the dashboard, your vendors will see the invitation section with a tag Pending Verification. Your vendors need to click on the Edit button to start the process of submitting their company and personal information. The Company Details window will open up. In the Info tab, your vendors can fill in their company information. Entity type refers to the legal structure of the vendor's business. Company name is the official name of the vendor's company or business. Beneficiary country is the country where the vendor is based or registered. GSTIN is the tax number of the vendor. This number can be customized based on the country of the vendor. For example, for vendors in India, it can be GSTIN. For vendors in Indonesia, it can be NPWP. And for vendors in Singapore, it can be UEN. PAN is the vendor's company PAN number. UDIM number is the UDIM registration number that was issued to the vendor's company. For attachment, your vendors can upload supporting documents such as business registration certification, tax identification documents, and MSME registration certificates. Once all the information is filled out, your vendors need to click on the Verify button to verify their GSTIN, PAN, and UDIM number. Peakflo will start the verification process to check the validity of the information. If the entry is correct, the green tick will appear beside each field. If the data is incorrect, your vendors will have to re-enter the information and verify again. Please keep in mind that the GSTIN, PAN, and MSME validation is only available for entities in India. Now coming to the Address tab, your vendors can fill in their shipping address and billing address. If the shipping address and billing address are the same, your vendors can tick Use Same Address for Billing. In the Bank Details tab, your vendors can fill out their bank information such as account number, account holder name, currency, bank country, bank name, bank code, and bank account type. Your vendors can add multiple bank accounts by clicking the Add Bank Account button. In such cases, your vendors will need to select the default bank account by clicking the toggle button Default. In the Contacts tab, your vendors can fill out their personal information by clicking on the Add New button, and edit their information by clicking on the pencil button on the top right. The Contacts window will open up for your vendors to fill their personal details such as first name, second name, email, phone number, and position. Once your vendors enter their mobile number and click on the Send OTP, they will receive an OTP number on their phones. Next, your vendors need to enter the OTP and click on the Verify button. Once your vendor's number is verified, a green tick will appear next to the mobile number field. Then they can hit Save button to save their information. Multiple contacts can be added in the Contacts tab. In such cases, your vendor need to mark one contact as the primary contact by clicking on the Main Contact toggle on the upper right corner. Once all the information is filled, your vendors can click on the Send to Customer button to submit their information and complete the sign-up process. Now your AP team can go to Peakflo's Payable section and check and validate the vendor information. Here you will see all the vendors and their details. In the Active Vendors tab, you can view all the currently active vendors. From the Inactive Vendors tab, you will find the vendors you have archived, whose invitations have been revoked, or the vendors who have declined your invitation. In case the vendor portal is enabled, you will find the active vendors for whom you have enabled the vendor portal. And if the vendor portal is disabled, you will find the vendors for whom you have disabled the vendor portal. Locate the vendor for whom you want to verify the details and click on the pencil icon. The vendor information window will open up with all the vendor details. In the Info tab, view all the details of the vendor's company. You can see the green tick that represents verification if the vendor information has been verified. In the Address tab, view the vendor's company address as well as the billing address. In the Bank Details tab, view and verify the bank details that the vendor provided. When the vendor information is accurate and verified, there will be a green verification tag confirming that the vendor bank account details verification is successful. If the vendor bank details are invalid, there will be a red tag showing that the bank account verification failed. You can ask your vendors to fill in the correct information again in the Vendor Onboarding Management. In the Contacts tab, you can view the contacts associated with the vendor's company. Also, you will be able to view the email, phone number, and designation of each contact. Click on Accept to approve the vendor details or decline to reject after reviewing all the information. Whenever your vendor information submission is fully finished, the changes will be shown under the My Approval section for you to check, accept, or reject the vendor changes. Go to My Approvals on the Payables section and click on the Vendor Changes tab. Here's a breakdown of the columns. Vendor name specifies the name of the vendor. Change type specifies whether the change is a vendor detail update or details of a new vendor added to the Vendor Onboarding Management. Latest update specifies the date that the details were last updated. Updated by specifies the name of the user who most recently updated the details. Changes are the overview of the information that the vendor has changed or added. The yellow highlight indicates information that has been changed by the vendor, whereas blue highlights mean that the vendor has added new information that was missing previously. Files contains all the attachments uploaded by the vendor. Click on the vendor for which you want to view the changes. A pop-up will appear highlighting the fields that have been changed by the vendor. The green tick mark indicates that the information changed by the vendor is verified. Once you review all the changes, select the vendors and click on Accept from the bulk action to approve the changes. If you click on Accept, a pop-up will appear asking you to confirm your selection. You can add a message and click on the toggle to notify the vendor. Click on the Yes, Accept button to complete the process. If you wish to reject the changes, click on Decline. Once you click Decline, a pop-up will appear asking you to confirm your selection. You can add a note on why the changes were rejected and click on the toggle to notify the vendor. Click on the Yes, Accept button to complete the process. The vendors will receive an email automatically notifying them about their changes being rejected. They will be able to update the rejected information and resubmit them for your approval. To revoke the invitation sent to the vendors, follow these steps. Go to the Vendors tab under the Payables section. Click on the Filter button beside Vendor Portal Status. Tick Invited and hit Apply. Locate the vendor for whom you want to revoke the invite and click on the Edit button. Click on the three dots on the top right corner and hit Revoke Invitation. A dialog box will appear, confirming whether you want to revoke the invitation for the vendor. Click Yes to complete the process of revoking a vendor. The vendor will receive an email notification automatically informing them that the invitation has been revoked. You can also perform this action for multiple vendors at once. Select the vendors you want to revoke the invite. Click on the Bulk Action button and then hit the Revoke button. A pop-up will appear asking you to confirm your action. For more information, check out our help portal at help.peakflo.co or send us an email to support@peakflo.co.